Hey everybody, today I got a new topic about dog culture. This is a waterfall story, and it's just inspired by one of my commenters. Okay, I was told that dog owners have bad chakra energy. So I'm not super familiar with all that, but I went and looked it up, and this totally makes sense. It's like dog owners are positively charged with negative energy, and so they're trying to stick to something that has better energy than them. Um, so here's an example that I think a lot of people probably notice. Your TV screen or your computer screen. Uh, did you ever notice like dust will stick to it more than anything else? Or if you have like a black colored lid on something versus a white colored lid, the dust sticks to it. And it's all because of the charge of the particle of the dust floating around in the air and then the surface. So the dust has a charge and then the surface has a charge, so they're trying to stick together. And that's like dog owners. They're so overflowing with this negative energy that they have from their dogs. They're trying to, float around and connect to something better than them, nicer than them, cleaner than them. Like he just like I see it all the time. Like dog owners say they're so fulfilled, right? They're so happy with dogs. So many people tell me that I need to get a dog. Dude, you need to get a dog and you'll realize the loving connection to the animal world and Christ and all this other bullshit that people package dog culture as. But have you ever noticed dog cultures are most dog people, they constantly need attention. They constantly need a social media presence. They have to have decals on their car. Look at me, dog hair included. I love this kind of dog. I love that kind of dog. They're constantly needing to pull in a connection to some other human. Like when you go out for a walk, a lot of people are they're expecting you to give their dog attention. Bend over, gets that posture. Oh, puppy, 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 puppy. And if you don't respond that way when they push their dog on you, they get all pissy and they don't understand. It's like they have all this negative energy, like a dust particle, and they see you with your proper wavelength and your positive charge, and they want to connect to that. You know, it's just like dog owners. They won't go to a dog park. They'll go to the school where the dogs aren't supposed to be. They'll go all over the place, taking their overflowing, negative energy and trying to connect to something positive. Taking selfies of them with their dog everywhere. I went for a hike today. Here's 2 pictures of the mountain and 10 pictures of me with my dog. Now give me attention, please. Yeah. So, anyways, that's I've inspired now to kind of notice this out in society. And so now, finally, the waterfall story. Now that I've been running my mouth, so I went to a waterfall with a friend, and it's a very busy waterfall. It has narrow trails. It goes way up on some switchbacks. It's a beautiful place, but it's overcrowded with the dog owners. And I noticed the same thing with the negative energy. Like we first get there, and there's a guy there on his phone, like bent over. Beautiful 100-foot waterfall in front of him. He's bent over, looking at his phone, taking pictures of his dog. His dogs are tripping people up. He's got 2 obese basset hounds, and these dogs are looking up at everybody else too because they're nervous. Like, they're all like spazzed out because people are running around too, and they're making noise like, "Look, mom, eat the waterfall." They're making exuberant noises, and so those dogs down there, they're probably thinking they're about to get a handout, because I'm sure that for them to be obese, these basset hounds that are this big around with their little short legs, they're getting fed all the time, and so it's like this guy has no attention to the people around him. He's just letting his dogs get in everybody's way. And half the people are getting out of the way, and the other half are running up to bend over and baby talk the dog, and he's just sitting there eating up the attention. I had to divert myself so I didn't trip over these dogs. I'm not there to baby talk some guy's dog. And walking up the trail too, people have this like negative energy. Like they'll have the leash in their hands, and then they're looking down like this, and they're pulling and pulling. Get over here, get over here. And the trail is like one person wide, so you have to stop in the little turnouts. And the dog owners, they don't want to stop in the turnouts because Fluffy is so important. And so you can see the irritation on their face. You can see the when they have to get out of the way of other people. And it's like that commenter said, they're full of this negative energy, and they expect all these people to like get out of the way, baby talk the dog, like, oh, you took him to the waterfall, let me get over here and help you. They're just attracted to anybody else's positive energy with their negative energy that they have from their dog. It's like they're not enjoying the waterfall, they're slightly irritated, they got the rolled over posture, they got the this kind of posture. And then as we leave the waterfall, and here's another example you guys probably see, but we got ourselves a pit bull owner, and he's like the typical punk Chad looking dude. He's got like a tap out t-shirt, a flat hat, like big old tunnel earrings, big freaking, and it looks like the guy's in his late 40s, but he's trying to act like he's like a 23-year-old street punk type looking thing. But he's got two young pit bulls with like the tactical harnesses with all the connections. The stuff is borderline BDSM bedroom play, the way they dress these dogs up. And then he's got long leashes connected to these things. And of course, people are walking by, baby talking the dogs, like, oh, oh. But he's like right at the exit of the pavilion where everybody walks, and he's got his knee up on the concrete, like. Like all freaking, look at me with my pit bulls, man. I'm living that tough life. And of course, it's so stupid, but it's so freaking funny. And, everybody's walking by looking at him, A few people are cruising up to him to baby talk the dogs, and he's just sitting there, all proud of himself. And then the dogs rush a couple people and get all aggressive, and then he starts doing this thing that the dog owners always do. With the leash in his hand. Oh, like, get over here. Like, look at how tough I am. I control these beasts. And it's all just a freaking display of negative energy. And he's like the dirty dust particle. And the dog-free people are the clean people. And he's trying to stick all over him. Yep. And sure enough, the girl I was with, she's not on board with me not liking these dogs, and she baby talked the dog. She's like, oh, he's just upset or something. And so those dogs heard her, and they rushed towards us, and I stepped between the girl and the dogs, and I have my trekking pole. If the dogs get close, I just push them away. And I made eye contact with the guy. He makes eye contact with me, and then he does his little leash jerk thing, and kind of looks away like he's not interested in me because I didn't sit there and give him attention. And yeah, just a bunch of negative energy with these dog people, and they expect everyone to cruise up and be positive. And as we're walking away, the girl I'm with, I told her that's why I don't like dogs. You see what's going on? Everybody's irritated, but she didn't see it. In her mind, it was just, that's just the life we live in. We're supposed to constantly give our attention. And she was like, why don't you like dogs? And I had to explain to her some of this stuff. Like, did you notice how irritated the dogs were and how irritated the people were? Just, they don't even understand the waterfall. The dogs don't understand the waterfall. These people are just there to display their dogs and get attention. And yeah, she ended up agreeing with a lot of the stuff. But if I wouldn't have told her, she wouldn't have noticed it. She would have just dumped all of her baby talk and attention into these people and excused all of the messes and irritations that the dogs were bringing. And the pit bull guy, when we left, like, that's like the most typical funny, stupid complaint. They always have to have attention. And then if you make eye contact with them, like, hey, dude, I'm not interested in your dog. Go over there. I didn't come here to look at your dogs. All of a sudden they're just like, all of a sudden they go into that dismissive body language, like, you don't like dogs? Wow, you must be an asshole. Like, and what sucks about this is these people are incentivized to be negative. They're incentivized to get dogs. They do feel guilty about dogs. Regret of dog ownership is high. Dog hoarding is high. But we in society incentivize these people by dumping our positive energy on them, feeling sorry for them, and we shouldn't. It's just like I told that girl that I was with. Like, if more people would realize that these dog people are just full of negative energy, just let them have their negative energy. But we need to quit dumping our positive energy on them. We are under no obligation to do that.